Hi, this is Andrew Parkhurst here today with Andres Lesmes, one of the application engineers leads with Design Point. I'm really excited today because we're going to have a quick question and answer session, a bit of an interview. I get to grill my supervisor on some questions that I have regarding the new 3D Experience platform. There's some uncertainty, there's some unknowns, there's things about it that I'm interested in knowing. I want good answers, and so we're gonna record this for you to see as well, to answer any hesitancies or things that hopefully can give you a clearer idea of what SolidWorks is doing with this 3D Experience platform and how it might benefit you and your business. So Andres, thank you. Are you ready for your first question?
I am ready, yeah. And just to clarify, I think this is a very exciting exercise. Everyone, if you're watching, we have not prepared these. I don't know what questions he's going to ask me, so we want to make these space and these time as honest and as open as possible. So let's see what you got, Andrew.
All right. So for the first category, hesitancy adopting the 3D Experience platform. Is the platform, 3D Experience platform, meant to replace SolidWorks?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not meant to replace SolidWorks because there are big differences between what the platform can do and what SolidWorks can do. So not every customer is comfortable having their software or their intellectual property up on the cloud. The fact that you can work with an assembly in the cloud doesn't mean that you're going to have the power to be able to work with a machine that has hundreds of thousands of components, right? So the platform it's a great fit for certain a portion of our customer base, and I guess we can dive a little bit deeper into that. However, I do see, I want to add that asterisk, I do see a future where the tools in the platform become more and more robust, right? Think back at the first release of SolidWorks and how much it has grown. I think that computing power and cloud technology is growing at a really fast pace where sooner rather than later we'll be surprised with the crazy things that we can do with that. So right now, no, it's not meant to replace SolidWorks in any way.
So it's not meant to replace SolidWorks. What was missing from SolidWorks that users now have access to with the platform?
So that's a great question, and I could talk about that for hours, but I'll try to keep it short. One of the things that we didn't have in with the SolidWorks tools is an ecosystem that allows for us to document the entire creation process, right, of a product. So we still need to go back and forth with email to talk about ideas, to review things, and the platform offers that, right? So the platform is meant to foster that engagement, that that community feedback from within the company and outside of the company. So I think that that's something that complements the SolidWorks ecosystem really well. And number two, well, the SolidWorks is owned by Dassault Systems, which has really powerful technology and other CAD software, right, like CATIA and simulation tools that are maybe more robust and more advanced than what we currently have for SolidWorks. So the platform is opening that. It's opening the possibility for SolidWorks users to utilize higher end tools and integrate those within their workflow with SolidWorks. So those are the two main things, right? So fostering collaboration and capturing the entire, documenting the entire process, as well as having access to higher end tools.
Very interesting. So they work together. What will, the last question of this category, what will users miss out on if they do not adopt the platform?
So one of the things that we're seeing right now is that there's a ton of companies out there offering solutions for many problems that every engineer and every manufacturing company and design company faces today, right? So So there are great tools. However, because they're tools made by different companies, those are tools that are disconnected. And then we enter this arena of creating a new problem, which is how do we customize some program to make the 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, or however many tools that were isolated speak to one another. So what would customers miss if they don't engage with the platform? Well, the possibility of having a tool that encompasses all of that the nature of it is connecting all those tools. And plus, one extra thing that I wanted to mention is, we think of the platform currently as CAD tools or data management or messaging and community building and all of that. However, when you go to the platform website and you look at how many roles or different applications they have tools for the marketing department, for the financial department. So it's really a huge ecosystem that is great for the business right now. So we're starting little. We'll start with the things that are going to benefit the engineering department first, but there are endless possibilities that will make all the software that a company uses, potentially be connected in one environment. So that's what they would miss out on.
Very cool. Okay, so to summarize, if people are hesitant of the platform, the first thing is that it's not meant to replace SolidWorks. It's meant to work together with SolidWorks. And then it's a bigger scope. It's almost like zooming out and seeing your entire business, not just what you are doing.
Correct.
All right. Very good. I do feel better informed. Are you ready for the next category?
I'm ready.
Okay. Next category is asking an experienced SolidWorks and platform user. So I'm just an experienced SolidWorks user. A lot of people aren't an experienced platform user. You were just a SolidWorks expert before, and now you've gained experience. Have you gotten comfortable with the platform, and what was your learning curve like?
Have I gotten comfortable? Yes, extremely comfortable. I think the platform still captures the essence of SolidWorks in the ease of use, right? It's customer centric and it's a great experience. So in SolidWorks, you're used to the drag and drop, right? From File Explorer, you can drag something into SolidWorks and the file just opens, right? Or if not, through the tasks pane, you have your design library and it's drag and drop, whether it is a part, an assembly, or even a feature. And the same concept applies in the platform. The platform it's a place where you can drag and drop, where it's simple to manipulate things around, and once you get the concept, then you become extremely comfortable with it. So what was the learning curve? Well, that is the concept of the platform. It's very short. I'm confident that we can do an implementation for a company in a day, depending on what apps they're going to start using, right? However, keep in mind that the learning curve has to be, we have to consider what from the platform we are implementing, right? If I say, hey, what's the learning curve for the SolidWorks ecosystem? Well, if you have to learn composer, inspection, electrical, simulation, it's a longer learning curve, but the concept is the same, the feeling is the same, and it's just really easy to pick it up.
So it's not an alien environment. It's similar. It's still a SolidWorks product. It's something that you are transitioning your comfort from one place to another.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your favorite part of the platform?
That's a difficult one. I have to be honest. When you work in an industry and for a company like Design Point, our job is to learn new tools and to see who might benefit from those tools and then go to show those tools, right? So sometimes you might be hesitant yourself, right? And still you have to learn the tool and you have to go figure out how to do a great demo. And the case was exactly that with the platform. but I have to admit it, by working more and more with it and learning how it functions, I started seeing real benefits. I started believing in it, and I honestly think that if I had to go back to work in an industry designing, I would implement the platform. There's a beauty with like all the different things that you can do. The fact that I don't need to rely on a specific machine to do work, right? I could go to my iPad. I don't want to say, yeah, from your phone, although technically you can, but we know that a bigger screen, it's a much more comfortable environment. But the point is, I could be anywhere, and as long as I have access to the internet, I have access to everything that is relevant for me. So who wouldn't love something like that? It's really cool. And there were many moments throughout the let's create the demo experience where we started experimenting different workflows, different things, and we were wowed. Right, a large assembly, uploading it to the platform, we thought it would take 10-15 minutes, and when we saw like the platform starting to populate every single component like instantaneously, it was like, whoa, this is fast. So yeah, many things. I guess to sum it up, it's just the surprise that it has given me, the positive surprise that it's been to me, that it really is a solution, and it's a cool technology that I would want to use if I was back in industry.
Great. Final question is just something I think you've already touched on, so it can be just a brief answer. But did you have to commit yourself to using the platform before you enjoyed it?
I did. And the reason why I did, I don't know that it's required, but I did it because I think that you will learn more valuable lessons once you implement a tool in your true production scenario, right? If it's not that, then if there's pressure around something, you will not experience that pressure, because you're just testing, right? So you're comfortable knowing, oh, I'll get to that later. No, we know that if we need to, if we need to get this thing out the door, we need to get this thing out the door, right? So you're gonna have to fight yourself through it and figure out a solution, right? So that experience only comes when you embrace it and you make it part of your workflow, and then that forces you to also better understand the tool, better understand what it was meant to do, what it was meant to be, and it's been great after we did that.
That's fantastic. So I know, human nature, we're always looking for that path of least resistance. With adopting new technology, at times we're tempted to just go down the routes we already know, but that doesn't allow us to grow. That doesn't allow us to take advantage of different efficiencies or advances that if we were to, just like someone switching from AutoCAD to SolidWorks, they have to make that company decision. The leadership, everyone has to buy in, and that seems like the same thing that we're talking about with the platform.
Right.
All right, last section, forecasting the future. Put your genie cap on. Do you see how customers could gain a competitive advantage from adopting the platform?
Oh yeah, 100%. So this is the whole SolidWorks story, but repeated, right? What do I mean by that? We've had customers switch to SolidWorks not because they felt like that they needed it, because they had tools and they got used to do things their way, so they got their products out the door. However, when they went to hire new people, everybody came from college now with experience on SolidWorks, and now they were forced to either starting to train people on older tools, which didn't really make a lot of sense. Oftentimes, they couldn't even find a place that would offer the training that they needed. So there was only one option, right? And that was moving on and implementing new technology. And the same thing's going to happen with the platform. I can guarantee it, right? New generations are used to applications, just apps, not the concept of software it's switching, right? It's just now cloud technology. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. We are seeing that, but we're going to see more of that being fostered in education, and people are going to go to the workforce with that mentality, and they're going to feel like they have to go back in time and get used to software the way that we've seen it today. So 100% it will change the opportunities of those that embrace it. And then and then to complement that answer, I'll go back to the story of the customer that jumped onto SolidWorks because they needed to be able to hire people that were used to that, right? Would they benefit from implementing SolidWorks even if that wasn't the problem? Absolutely. We all know that, in 2D you work a lot less efficiently than in 3D, but they didn't realize it until they made the move, right? So it's the same thing. If you don't embrace this new technology, you're going to be the 2D person, the person with 2D mentality that is scared of 3D. So this is that process all over again. So ask yourself, did your business change when you moved to 3D? Did your processes change? Did you become more efficient? Do you become more effective? If the answer is yes, then it's the same story with the platform.
Fantastic. So leading into this then, is the cost and value worth it for customers, the return on investment potential?
Absolutely. I mean, along with the ability of switching to apps, we're seeing also a new business model, right? You have Asana, you have Trello, you have these services that you utilize, and if you onboard a new employee, it's just as simple as adding a new license, and if you downsize for some reason, or you simply stop that service. So the platform has that beauty, right? You flip the switch on and off as needed. So I think there's great opportunities for seeing more return on that investment with that business model. You don't have to keep your license for the full year if you downsized. And if you onboarded a new employee, you don't have to buy it for a full year if you know that person's going to be there only for 6 months, right? So I think that simple things like that are making it evident that they're going to get the return. And once again, by having access to all these more advanced tools that give you better results faster, that are making your workflow, your process, your work easier and more efficient, then that's also a great opportunity to get return on that investment.
Fantastic. It sounds like it's flexible for a business, and that is very important as things change, as we all know. All right, final question. What kind of opportunities could adopting the platform lead to? New skills or new networking, or anything that a company might just newness?
Oh, that's a big one too. A couple of things come to mind. So Amazon comes to mind, right? When you think about purchasing something, you think of Amazon, and if they have it, you'll order it, and the day after you're going to have it. So that's how we're going to purchase services as well. We're going to go to these platform like environment, and you're going to choose your vendor, you're going to choose your supplier, and that's it. So you want to make sure that you're part of that, right? Because the people that don't sell the products in Amazon are missing out on a huge audience that goes there to buy those products. So having your products, your services listed there in the platform because you're part of it, it's a great advantage that everyone else is going to miss out.
Wow. All right, so if people are hesitant to adopt the 3D platform, just know that it's not replacing SolidWorks. You can get comfortable with the platform if you've ever gotten comfortable with anything else that SolidWorks has put out. And the future is coming, the future is now. This is something that we should embrace, something we should definitely not ignore. and there are so many more positive benefits to it than obstacles to go over. I think that's it. Is there anything else that you want to finalize or summarize about your recommendation for the platform?
Sure. So one thing that I was thinking right now is the platform does solve current problems that people will have. However, it has another component to it, which is the visionary component of it, right? And we need to acknowledge that and be comfortable with that. And but what you might be able to get in return is what the early investors of Amazon stocks got in return when it picked up, right? What the early investors of cryptocurrency got in return when that took off, right? So the earlier you adopt these opportunities and these technologies, the more massive return you're going to get. Eventually, you'll still benefit from that, but if you embrace it early on, it's a completely different experience, and we know that.
So this is coming. Like, this isn't like a mistake. This is coming. It's just when you're going to get onto it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an option anymore. I think it's here, and it's a question of when and not if.
Right. All right, Andres, I do appreciate your time and answering all these questions. You did really good, and I really appreciate it. For all of our customers, I hope this explains some of the questions that you might have had. If you have any other ones, you can feel free to reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about this, to give you a little bit of good and bad of what we've been learning through our journey with 3D Experience platform. And just remember, here at Design Point, more is possible.